right after we got married, we had a big debate. Should I spend $20,000 on coaching? And she's like, "What the heck are you talking about?" I'm like, "I got to do this." She's like, "No, no, no." And so since then, back then it was more like, hey, like we're arguing about independence. Like I was coming from like, hey, don't control my money decisions because I didn't understand it's a we now, and we didn't make it all the way to fully we on all this decision making. And now I would say today we don't have any arguments like that. It's all about we, and it's all about us and our family and what we're doing, and strategically it's all strategic questions.
Yeah.
But I would say we're at the place where we can make very, very, very fast decisions together. Like I would say, like we fight not in the sense of like we want different things, and it's in the sense that we both know we have different perspectives, and we'll talk through we'll like talk through it until all of a sudden we're like, okay, we think we figured this out, and then we'll go execute. And it's like it's going so fast. I was just remarking on this the other day when we had a major issue crop up that is in one of our businesses that actually, let's be honest, it's one of my old businesses that cropped up a huge financial issue, and then we had to like decide what to do about this. And so we spent like a full day just like triaging and figuring out what the heck was the lay of the land, and then we sort of created a plan and we're like executing on it together, and it's going really well. I'm shocked at how fast we go today.
That's awesome.
So I'm I
And the
think
only
most couples go through
way,
that journey from like values or like conflict or like personal side, and then eventually when you align, you're talking strategically about
yes,
your life.
yes.
So that's where you want to get to.
And the only way that you got there, Daniel, is because you were willing to have these conversations, you and your wife.
100%.
Her name is Kate. And we actually did an episode where Faisal, Danielle, and myself, we all were on, and our spouses were on. So if you're curious to see a face and a voice with these people, like go watch that epised.
Has it been posted? I think it might not have gotten posted yet, but it's gonna come soon.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good. Well, but if you're listening to this as a podcast, it will have been posted by that time. If you're watching this live, you may have to wait. So I just want to share one more story before we dive into the principles. And this highlights that it's not always about alignment, but it's about honoring somebody else's perspective. So as I said, like my husband's all about, he has learned to see my ways a little bit.
He's learned to see the truth.
I've also learned to see his ways a little bit. So it's that's what marriage is about. But he's still all about how, like, I want to play now, it reminds me of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that little girl. She's like, I want a pretty pony now, daddy. Like that's, yeah. So anyway, so my husband a couple of years ago or a year ago, he's like, I want a sports car. And I was like, no, like that is so not my value system. And he didn't say anything for quite some time. And then he's like, I found the sports car. I'm like, but like, we didn't decide that this was the right thing. And I was so angry at him. I was like, no, like this. And I chose to take a step back, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna oppose him on this. Like, this is really important to him. And, we had conversation about it. I kind of understood where he's coming from and how this was, he's a salesman, like at heart. And like, he needs rewards. He needs like, and for this was like a really huge reward for him internally about, from his hard work. So this is like seriously like my biggest, still not in my value system, but my biggest, you know what, I'm gonna let this go, and I'm gonna like totally let him make a decision based on his value system. So, it's probably gonna be like, so he did buy it, but it's like this process, because he bought it and now it's getting taken apart and it's getting rebuilt as some other car. So it's like, so it wasn't even just like a one-time purchase. Like, we're dragging this out over a year and a half, and like
nothing is a one-time purchase.
I know. So
it all has maintenance. It all has like future like things that are projects. It's like nothing is a one-time cost until you think it's a one-time cost.
So whatever, like $85,000, $90,000 later, which is not that expensive for a sports car in the reality of things. But still, again, like, my thought process is, oh my gosh, that's a down payment for another real estate investment property that will pay for our, so like, we're coming from very different perspectives, but it's not always about we're aligned in exactly how we spend our money, but I'm aligned in honoring what his needs and how he's wired and how he's built.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that we got to give and let our spouses or business partners or whoever it is, they need to win too, and their wins are going to look different than ours.